All right, guys, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of We the People, where the people come for the truth, and this is the people's desk. This is not the NPR desk. This is the people's desk, your desk, the desk where your voice is heard through our comment section. Okay, so let's start out like this. We got this one meatball that comes from America, and you know, this dumb shit. I don't know. Somebody told him he's funny at some point. I don't know why they lied to him, but they lied to him. But I want you to hear what he's got to say. Look at that British flag. Queen Charles.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. I have no idea if you know who I am, but I was asked to deliver this year's alternative Christmas message, which I've heard is a big deal, so I hope you do. But if not,
He's
I
an
host what
alternative
you
type of
call a
fella.
chat show. We call it a talk show in what you call the colonies, I think. I honestly have no idea what's going on over there. I do know what's going on over here, though. And I can tell you that from a fascism
Idiot. Idiot. Listen.
perspective, this has been a really great year. Tyranny is booming over here. You may.
Okay, so let me just advise you guys on something. If fascism was alive in America, okay, this little wanker right here would be in prison getting alternated. He'd really be alternative then. But it's easy for him to talk smack. You see, because when Jimmy Kimmel did what he did and the FCC threw him off the air, well, you know, his little Democrat cohorts all cried a river and they Justin Timberlake him. They threw him back on TV. Cunt. And now he's on TV showing his real disdain for America and the American people. Despite the fact it's because of you, the American people, that this dumbass, this guy who thinks he's a comedian, is actually on TV. It's because of you. But hey, you know, that's his appreciation.
You may have read in your colorful newspapers, my country's president would like to shut me up because I don't adore him in the way he likes to be adored. The American government made a threat against me and the company I work for, and all of a sudden we're off the air. But then, you know what happened? A Christmas miracle happened. Well, it was September. It was a September miracle. But the holiday does seem to come earlier and earlier every year, doesn't it? Millions and millions of people stood up and said, no, this is not acceptable. People who never watched my show, people who were on record saying they hate my show, spoke out. They marched. They did this all to support the right to a free expression of speech. And because so many people spoke out, we came back. Our show came back stronger
So
than
not
ever.
exactly
We
how it
won.
happened.
The president lost, and now I'm back on the air every night, given the most powerful politician on earth a right and richly deserved bollocking. That's a word, right? I used it properly. And the reason I'm telling you the story is because maybe you're thinking, oh, a government silencing its critics is something that happened.
Hey, Jimmy, I am going to inform you, though, he's going to get the last laugh, bro. You're never going to be this stupid on TV insulting that man and him not get the last laugh. If you think it's over, you got another thing coming, champ. It's far from over. He is not done wiping his ass with your face yet. A cheeky fellow.
Happens in places like Russia or North Korea or LA, not the UK. Well, That's what we thought. And now we've got King Donnie VIII calling for executions. It happens fast. You know, it's funny. We Americans are very proud of not having a king. It's kind of why we left. Earlier this year, tens of millions of us marched at protests called No Kings. You had some of those there. And just for the record, we have nothing against your king. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but his son lives here. We just, well, some of us just have a problem with the guy who thinks he is our king. Here in the United States, right now, we are both figuratively and literally tearing down the structures of our democracy, from the free press to science to medicine to judicial independence to the actual White House itself. We are a right mess. And we know this is also affecting you. And I just wanted to say, sorry. And we want you to know, or at least I want you to know, that we're not all like him. We're not all.
Yes, we are. A lot of us are, except for the weak, uh, we'll call him hoes like him. But here's the thing. We don't want your way no more, bro. We're not going to live in this secretive British rule no more. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I think you guys should go over and check a channel out. It's called Promethean Action. This idiot would have no idea about it. He's not even smart enough to where one of them would say, maybe we should tell Jimmy. Nah, he's an idiot anyway. Jimmy, you are a disgrace to the American people, and we don't want you here no more. At least more than half the country don't.
All like that. Look, I know from the musical Hamilton that our countries didn't start off on the greatest note. But I also know from seeing Love Actually that we have a special relationship. So if I might speak on behalf of my country, which I most certainly do not, our message to you, our friends across the pond this Christmas, is don't give up on us. We're going through a bit of a wobble right now. But we'll come around. It may not.
He's taking up for England, bro. They're getting ready to live under Sharia law. In some parts of England, they do. Sharia law, that's Muslim law, bro. That's not even the king's law anymore. That is Sharia, Muslim law. And when they grow strong enough, they'll overthrow King Charles. You set yourself up for that one, buddy. But we're not going to do that here in America. We are not going to allow our country to be invaded. Not by anyone. Especially the likes of Jimmy Kimball's brains telling us who we should let into our country and shouldn't. Oh, we're on the backs of immigrants. No, stupid. No. You see, the immigrants that came to our country, that built this country, right? They agreed to assimilate and become American. See, they didn't come here being Italian. If they did, it was Italian American, Spanish American, Korean American. Now you just got all these different nations, all these different races that just come into our country and do what they want to do. Because the idiots like this that says, well, God didn't make no borders. He did actually make borders. One nation is another nation, is another nation, is another nation. There are definitely borders. Yep. And that's for to keep people separated. Yeah. Well, you know, language barriers, learning barriers, learning curves. So I don't know. I would definitely believe that's why there's borders. It's because we have to have law and order. It's to keep certain people separated from others. Maybe it's because they can't understand one another. I mean, it's just, bro, so many things, bro. All the things they want, all the things, eh, all the things. Let me tell you something. I'm totally amazed at this moment, right? I just watched that Minnesota mayor, Fry, or whatever the hell his name is, Joseph, talk about ICE officers being in immediate danger, right? And then Tim Walz gets on there and makes a crack at our vice president, talking about his white supremacy because white people don't have to apologize no more. He's talking about idiots like you, Tim Walz. You're an idiot. And if I was the president and the American people, I would hold Tim Walz and Joseph Frey personally responsible, if anything. And I mean anything. That means both you go to prison for the rest of your life. And if your wives got something to say, they can go too. If anything happens to one federal agent in Minnesota, especially over the holiday weekend, both of you will go under a goddamn jail with a cell buddy named Bubba. And I'm going to make sure his name's Bubba. And he's just looking for a little bitch like you. I can't believe you would even do that. You are a disgusting creature, bro. You ain't even part of our you ain't even American, bro. You're a Chinese infiltrator anyway, Tim Walz. We know that. You spent all that time over in China, bro. We know that. You don't love America. You love China. You love anything that's going to help China. You already swore your allegiance to China. You know you did. And to the Somali people, them crooked ass people. Somebody needs to put them back on the plane. What do they tell black people here? They tell black people something like, you came on ships with chains, we came on planes. What? Until Trump starts going after them, then it becomes the black community. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not the only one pointing that out. There's a lot of black people that are on TikTok and YouTube, mostly TikTok though, because you get censored on YouTube, but mostly TikTok, that are pointing that very thing out, right? That there is no black community when it comes to Somali people. Somali people don't care about black, just like the African community. They don't care about that. They say black people in America now are American. They're American. They're not. They're not the same. Let me tell you something, bro. They're a different type of people because they went through a lot of shit to get to where they are today. They're very resilient people, strong people. We're proud to say that they're Americans. We're proud, all people, all races in America are proud to say that black people are American people. And when they want to be, they're hardworking people. Right? So I just dumb idiots like Jimmy Kimmel and Tim Walz and people like that, like first and foremost, be who you are and be true to who you are all the time. Don't pump fake all the time, acting like you're this person or that person, and when you go here, you're there, and when you're there, you're here, and all of that, and yeah, I can't stand them white girls talk about I don't date white boy. What? Bitch, first of all, I ain't no boy. Watch your mouth. Second of all, what did you say? You're white, bitch. I be tripping. You watch TikTok, you get these black chicks on here talking about we hate that white girls are with our men. And then you get some of them that are like, listen, we know you're with our black kings, but it's dismantling the white family, so we're with it. What? Yeah, it's dismantling the white family, so we're with it. So they're cool. Take your radiator hose, yo. Do you? To all you white women that do, we don't want you anyway. You can call racist if you want. Ain't got nothing to do with being racist. But if you couldn't even be with your own men, we don't want you anyway. Black women don't want to be with white men like that. The white women want to be with black men. So take them. There's plenty of other races out there. Who gives a shit about races anyway? Women, period. Right? I don't care about, man. Listen, that shit all wet. That's all I care about. Wet. You heard me. The rest of it, I don't care. Long as you're at least at least 35 and wet. If you're 18, do not think about looking my way at all. If you're 21, hell no. If you're 25, no. If you're 30, nah. If you're 35, okay. All right. We can try it. If you're 40, yeah. 35, we can give it a try though. By 35, most women are like, yeah, trying to find me a husband, settle down and chill. They're still really good looking, still upkeeping with herself and not all bitchy and, still got a little bit of oomph in their fucking caboose and all that shit. They can still throw that thing back, you know? Hey, once they get 40, they start getting menopause. Oh, shit. Menopause. Man. I got one that I'm married to right now that likes to remind me how we're not together until something needs to be fixed or this needs to be done or that needs to be done or that needs to be done or that needs to be done or this needs to be. Then I'm actively her husband. She told me the other day, right? Listen to this one. So the other day I'm out and I'm door dashing and I had this Mexican chick hit me, Spanish chick. So I'm pulling out of a parking spot and she hits me. I ain't even get out the parking spot. I turned the wheel, I tapped the gas, and boom. I'm like, yo, what the hell? So this lady pulls off. She pulls up to the light. So I get out of the car and I start to walk for her. She takes off. Boom. I thought it was a dude at first. Man, So the little dudes that was in the store right there, they come out. They like, yo, that's a dead end. He went down. Yo, go get him. So I threw the bumper back on. And I went after him. I get down in the street, go up to the car window, boom, boom, boom. It's a lady. I'm like, damn, yo, what the hell? So, uh, so we get to what you call them, right? we get to uh 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 I call it so they that I can't do nothing because he's a dude. It's a chick. So I call the police. I lost my train of thought. My phone went on. So I call it's a chick. So I call the police. Right, police come, county cop. We're right inside the city line. So cops like, look, I called the city cop. He's on his way. He's like, but I'm gonna let you know, she ain't got no license or no insurance. I said, well, I seen the Virginia tag, so I kind of figured that, right? I said, what I do? He was like, you send her ass to jail. So when some little dude pulls up, you know, talking, looking around, like, what's up, bro? What you gotta do? He's like, no, I'm just, I'm like, all right, whatever, yo. So I grabbed my knife out the car and put it in my pocket, right? 'Cause then another Spanish dude pull up. And I'm like, two against one. Well, if we're going to get it, we just going to get it flat out, right? So the other dude get out and he like, yeah, oh, what you trying to get it fixed? I got a mechanic in Lexington. I'm like, man, what are you, stupid? I'm not driving to no Lexington, D.C., bro. I gotta take a gun. I gotta do all that because there ain't no being white and driving through no Lexington, D.C., sir. I'm sorry about that. I'm taking a pistol with me. And anything that approaches the wrong way, we just gonna have a dead brother that day. It's gonna be on the news. Racist. No, no, ain't got nothing to do with it. Well, maybe it does. Not on my end. I was just driving, officer. So we ain't even gonna put ourselves in that situation. So it was a nah. And then he gonna try and show me his ID. Bro, listen. You know and I know there ain't no cops right here right now. You know and I know that all y'all are here illegal, bro. How do I know that's even your real name? And secondly, when we leave here, I ain't never gonna see you again. I tell you what, you give me $200 or your old lady going to jail. 'Cause I'm going home with something to give to my people. It was my mom's car. She hit it. It's either you give me $200 or she going to jail. He got $100 in his wallet. I got it. Merry Christmas. She ain't go to jail. But I should have let her ass go to jail and get deported. That's exactly what I should have did. That bitch ain't show no remorse. And then my wife gonna have the audacity to look at me and tell me I'm racist because I said she was here illegally. How do you know? She don't speak English. That's how I know. Most people that come in here on a green card, they assimilate. They take English speaking classes and learn to speak English. But see, we know what it is. She's fucking racist. She's racist against her own people, white people. It's insane to me, bro. It's insane to me the psyops they used on the American people to convince the American people that it's the white people that are racist. Wrong, wrong. The common white people didn't own slaves. It was the government white people that owned slaves. Just remember, the population was a lot lower then. So now, on a grand scale, they look at us all the same, bro. It don't matter what color you are. They just use race for us to fight amongst ourselves. Because some of us are so stupid to fall for it. The other ones of us, and I like to think that I'm not in that. I'm in that percentile of not being one of the dumbass miscreants that know how to contain myself and conduct myself as a accountable man instead of a little boy that screams, cries, and kicks his feet every time he don't get his way, that wants to make everybody convinced that he's a man. I don't get that. And the problem is, it's because there ain't enough men in men's lives. That's the problem. You know, I didn't have a dad in my life. I mean, I got my dad, right? He's my stepdad, but my stepdad was working all the time. My real dad was a piece of shit. I ain't never meet him. He ain't never cared nothing about me. I tell you what, about 2.5, 3 years ago, I got in touch. I found out I got some sisters through him. So I find one of them. I get in touch with her and I tell her and all that, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I heard of that." And I said, "Well, all right, well, I'd like to see if he wants to talk." She gets back at me. No, I don't want to talk to you. All these fucking years later, and that piece of shit still can't confront me to this day. And I'm glad, because you punk bitch, if you're watching this right now, I'll whoop your fucking ass, you punk bitch. You're a punk bitch. You're a disgrace to what a man is. Wayne Karsner, you're a disgrace of what a real man is. You fucking piece of shit. I'm gonna tell you what, I didn't have the greatest stepdad, but that man was fucking amazing, bro. When my mother came from Texas to Baltimore, he told my mother, "You keep your son and I'll marry you. You go get your." I'm sorry, I was already up for adoption. See, my mom didn't have none of my paperwork, and my grandmother, God rest her soul, she wouldn't give it up. And my mother had to leave home because she was going, let's just say, through some private things that went through a lot of people in the South through the household. But there was a stepfather in the house because my real grandfather, my mom's dad, David Vaughn Atkins, he died. Uh, he was a linesman in Texas after the military, after the Air Force. He became a linesman, and the line wasn't dead, and he died. My mom was just a little girl, and my grandmother, she was all depressed, and you know, she went and remarried. She married a guy named Terry Parker. And he was a piece of shit himself. He was a fucking piece of shit. But Michael Malachewski, now that's a good man. Because even though he ain't teach me how to be a dad and he wasn't always there, and most of the time I seen it because I was getting my ass whipped, but I was a pain in the ass. I was just a run off. I ain't give a shit about nothing, bro, when I was a kid. As long as I had the new Transformer or Thundercat or whatever, I was good. I grew up with parents that used to sell cocaine and marijuana, bro. I mean, granted, my parents 65 years old. They don't do shit no more. My mom smoked a little bit of grass, but they're 65 years old, bro. My dad's just about, he's got Parkinson's and all that shit now, and that's why I'm here, bro. My mom's got diabetes. My mom ain't had her medication in 3 weeks now, bro. She lost her goddamn health insurance between 64 and 65. When you turn 65, you got to go after the other health insurance and all that shit. Well, guess what? She still ain't got it yet. And guess what? She ain't got no fucking medication. Her Lantus and her Trulicity. She ain't got neither one of them. That's not including her gabapentin. She just had a vein taken out of her arm and put in her leg. No pain medication. Fucking disgusting. And that's these Democrat ass run cities. And then I hear that you got people like Gavin Newsom that's going to go and take all the tips and all that shit and throw it toward giving more. You know what? We got 24 seconds left. Gavin Newsom, fuck you and you too, Westmoreland. Hit that subscribe, like, and share if you agree. Hey, I love y'all, man. Merry Christmas to y'all. Happy New Year. We're busting this off right. Jimmy Kimmel, you're a fag.
We love you guys. We even love the things about you